Hey everyone, welcome back, and hello to you new people too. I'm Courtney, this is Phyrra. She's being crazy right now. Today I'm going to be reviewing the Urban Decay Naked Ultimate Basics palette. I've had this palette for a while and I wanted to wait a while before I did my review because I wanted to travel with it a bit. So I took it with me when I went to Dragon Con in Atlanta. Since I got this palette, I've used it at least 3 times a week because for me, it's a great companion palette. So this palette is $54. It has 12 eyeshadows. Each eyeshadow is 0.04 ounces of product. So it's slightly less than a full size. So each color is slightly less than full size. A typical Urban Decay eyeshadow single is 0.05 ounces. You can see the colors here, and I will zoom in so you can check it out up close. I really think the packaging is gorgeous, and it has this like rose gold, metallic rose gold design. It's a square shape. It's got a nice large mirror. Mine's all fingerprinty on the inside. Nice large mirror inside, and it's nice because it's a full-size mirror. You could actually do your whole face in this mirror if you wanted to. If you compare the mirror to like what you get in the Naked Basics palette or the one that you get in one of the other Naked palettes. Size-wise, it's a little bit wider than the Urban Decay Naked Basics palette, which was my original go-to companion palette. But at this size, I can still fit this into my medium-sized makeup bag with no problem. This one fits into my small makeup bag. So I think trading the design, going from very long and thin to square, for me it's better just because I like having the full-size mirror if I'm gonna have a mirror at all. So this palette is something that many people, myself included, have been begging Urban Decay to make for years. And really this isn't all 12 mattes, it's 11 mattes and 1 demi matte, which is basically like a satin or it has like a pearl luster sheen thing going on. So it's not entirely all matte, but it's mostly matte. It is nice in that it has some cool tones and some warm tones. Let me go ahead and show you all of the colors up close. I went ahead and swatched them all for you. They're all on primer. You'll also be able to see a better look at them on my blog and many looks that I've done on my blog as well. So let me tell you what I don't like about this palette. Number 1, it doesn't have a base shade pale enough for my skin tone. I prefer a matte shade that's close to my skin tone. In Urban Decay's line, I really like the shade Walk of Shame. That's a great base shade for me. I also like Strange, which is from the Naked 3 palette, which is like a pale pink. 2, Instinct, Tempted, and Commando are all very similar to me on my skin tone. I don't see much of a distinction between the 3, and that was a little disappointing. Lockout and Faith are pretty close too. Also disappointing. I personally would have liked to see more variation. I wanted a laced dupe in this palette or a similar shade like that. Also, it would have been great to have a light mid-tone gray amidst all this brown and like mid-tone taupey brown shades that look very similar. 3, Lethal is very brown. I mean, it's a pretty color. It's got some red undertones to it. I mean, that's what the main color I'm wearing in this look right now. So I do like it, but I wish it was like a true deep burgundy, like the shirt I'm wearing. That would have made it perfect to me, because then I could have mixed it with one of the browns in the palette to make it more brown tone, or with an orange to get more of like a fiery color. The last thing is I don't like that they're not full-size eyeshadows. They're almost full-size eyeshadows at 0.04. With the other Naked palettes that Urban Decay's put out, I believe that all of the rest of these are 0.05 ounces each. So it just seems like it's a little bit smaller. Let me tell you what I do like about it. I love the packaging, I love the shape, I love the big mirror. I think all of that is great. I love that we finally have a nice true gray matte, because I love gray colors. Some of my favorite colors from Urban Decay are like Pistol, Mushroom, Desperation, Bust. So they're all like grays or gray taupes, but there's not actually like that perfect like perfect gray matte, and so I'm happy to have that. That's why I wish there was a lighter gray matte too. To me, this is the perfect companion palette. So if you have the electric palette, this is a great way, if you have hooded eyes like I do, to make a look work. Because, you know, the gray or the black would be great if you have like one of the bright teals or blues on your eyes. Extra bitter would be great if you're using slow burn. So there's like lots of colors that work really well with the electric palette. So if you have the Spectrum palette, which is one of my other all-time favorite palettes from Urban Decay, this is a perfect companion palette to it if you have hooded eyes, because it has such a pretty amount of rainbow colors in blues and greens and pinks and purples, and it just needs a little bit of some matte. For me, I need some mattes to be able to really take advantage of it, so I love that this palette exists. Hourglass. The other thing that I really like about it is I do feel like the eyeshadows here are high quality, like Urban Decay's formula. I feel like they're very easy for me to work with. You know, I wanted to give you the pros and cons of the palette. As I mentioned, I took this palette with me to Dragon Con. I took one other palette that it was a Z palette that I made myself with colors from Sugar Pill, Anastasia Beverly Hills, and Saucebox. And basically that custom palette had brights. That's what I put together with that palette, was brights. Except for the Anastasia shades, because for the Anastasia shades I used Baby Cakes and Buon Fresco. So basically a pale, like almost skin tone pink and a sort of pinky taupe, which I like to use as my transitional color. And I wore this palette nonstop. I did not wish that I had brought any other palettes. Like, I didn't regret it at all. I did makeup on myself and my husband and a friend, and it was perfect. I did, you know, casual daytime looks. I did cosplay looks for costumes. And then I also did like going out clubbing nighttime looks. So I was really happy that I had all of that versatility from the colors that I put together. And I used this palette for every single look that I did. There was at least one color in from this palette in every look. I've pushed my boundaries with this palette by doing both warm tone and cool tone looks, so I personally really do like the mix of colors. If you've been a follower of my blog for any time, you'll know that the Naked Basics 1 has been my companion palette for years. I traveled with this guy to LA, to New York, to Chicago, pretty much all over the US. It's a palette I really love, and I use it the way I described. It's a companion palette to all of my brights, my duochromes, my shimmers, my glitters. So that's how I like to use mattes. And this palette, replacing the Naked Basics 1 for me. So I feel like somebody like me who has hooded eyes, a matte palette like this adds a lot of versatility to my collection, because then I can put a duochrome eyeshadow on my lid, and then I can grab a transitional color from this palette to create like my crease, and it'll look great. I need that mixed textures to work with my eye shape. If you are looking at this palette, I think that this palette is good for people who are new to makeup. If you don't have any makeup, or if you have very little makeup, this would be a great starter palette. If you are someone who has hooded eyes, I think that this would be a great palette, because, you know, it gives you a wide variety of shades for you to start getting used to working with them on the hood of your eyes so that you can create a crease. If you are somebody who works in a conservative office environment, you'll probably love these colors because they are perfect for a conservative office environment. If you are not a fan of matte eyeshadows, if you don't like neutrals, I would skip this palette. If you already have a bunch of neutral palettes, you may want to skip this palette. If you won't wear at least half of the colors in this palette, I would skip the palette, because it's not going to be worth it to you. So anyway, if you're interested in checking out more swatches or the looks that I've created with this palette, I will put a link in the description box for you to go to my blog to check it out. What do you think of the Urban Decay Naked Ultimate Basics palette? Is it a must-have? Is it a skip? Let me know in the comments below. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up and share. I love it when you share my videos. And if you haven't already, be sure you click the subscribe button. Thanks so much for watching.